Afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the channel. Hey, I just got back from my second ride in the Tundra today, or the Tacoma rather, today, and I gotta say, I really do miss driving this truck. You know, a lot of people talk about it being underpowered, or they don't like the shifting, or there isn't enough room, or blah, blah, blah. But I gotta say, it is a fun little truck to drive. Now, I say it's a little truck. It's little as compared to the Tundra sitting out there. Now, that doesn't mean I think it's a tiny truck. I don't. I think small trucks, as a lot of people still call them today, have really grown. If anything, they're mid-size, and the Tacoma certainly is. But it's a blast to drive. You know, I go from the Tundra to the Tacoma, and it just feels like a lighter, more nimble experience, you know? I don't feel like I'm sitting in something that's big and giant and bulky and heavy. It feels quicker to me, and again, I know people complain about it being underpowered. They say it doesn't have enough oomph, but you really notice the difference when you go from something heavier. Now, that's not to say that it's more powerful than the Tundra, because it certainly isn't. But you can feel that weight of the Tundra a bit when you get on it, you know? Not that the Tundra's underpowered, certainly not. But you can just tell the difference. The Tacoma just feels lighter on the road, you know? And one thing I really can't wait for, you know, as I sit and think about the 2020 Tacoma that I have on order coming, you know, someday, eventually, I think about what I'm really looking forward to in that truck. And there's really a couple of things, I think. You know, one, I can't wait for that new voodoo blue color. I know it's a color, big deal. You shouldn't care about the color, but I do. Because that's the first thing I see every time I go out to get in the truck, right? So I cannot wait to experience that voodoo blue color. It's going to be awesome. But from a really a truck standpoint or a driver standpoint, there's really two things. One, and this was kind of reinforced today while I've been out in a couple of trips in the Tacoma, and that's that 10-way power adjustable seat. You know, I had spacers in here, you know, moving the back of the seat up, and I took them out because I'm trading it in, and I thought we'll put it back to stock as much as possible. And I really miss that. Because again, and I don't know, you guys probably can't tell, this is probably an exaggerated version, but this is what you kind of see, right? You got the hump there in front of you because this is the Sport, and this is up in your way a little bit. And when I had the spacers in here, I didn't have that issue. You know, it bumped the back of my seat up a little bit, which of course bumped me up a little bit, and gave me a little more, I guess, a clearer or more free-flowing view over that hump or over the hood on the Tacoma. So I'm looking forward to this 10-way power adjustable seat so that I can hopefully get that seat up where I want it and get it tilted the way that I want it, because I only had one option, obviously, with the spacers that I put in, and that was just to raise the rear. You know, I couldn't adjust 10 different ways by putting spacers in. So I can't wait to experience that. That should be awesome. Secondly is the manual transmission. You know, again, people complain about the automatic transmission in the Tacoma. I don't really have any issue with it. I don't know. It just doesn't bother me. And I can relate to what they're saying. And I did notice a difference, you know, when I recently, a few weeks ago, test drove an automatic 2020 Tacoma. I could tell a difference. It seemed smoother. It seemed more better operating. I don't know how to describe it. It was just a smoother feeling driving that 2020 automatic Tacoma. So I can relate. I know what people are talking about. Again, it doesn't bother me, but a lot of people out there say that the manual transmission in the Tacoma is the perfect match. That if you're going to have anything, that's the way it should go, and that's the way it should ride. and shift and feel, and, you know, the whole experience is better. So I can't wait to find out. You know, I started driving some, you know, 20, 10, 15, 30, whatever years ago, and or more, and I started with a manual transmission. So my history began with a manual transmission. It's probably going to end with a manual transmission, but I don't mean anytime soon. But I'm very curious to see how that feels. I have tons of experience with it, and I'm pretty picky, I must admit myself. If it's not spot on and it doesn't do what it's supposed to do, it's going to drive me nuts, and I could be making a big mistake, right? I had, and I'll give you an example, a long time ago, I bought the Honda Civic SI, right? I was going to try out the SI, so I bought one, and it was, I think it was the 4-door sedan. I think it might have been a 2-door. I can't remember. Either way, I bought it, and I'll tell you, I didn't notice this when I drove it, which is strange. I didn't notice this until I got home, but you had to rev that thing so high in the RPM band to get any power out of it. It wasn't fun to drive. I hated it. Now, I had that car for, I think I had it for about 2 months, and this was brand new. I bought it brand new. Dumb thing. But I had it for about 2 months, and I couldn't stand it anymore, right? So I traded it in. I traded it in on something else. I can't remember what else I got. But that was a manual transmission, and probably not really the transmission's fault. And it really wasn't. I think the transmission was really pretty smooth. It was more the power of the car, or the way that they had it set up. And that's not uncommon with the SI, but at least not that year. But I just wasn't ready for that. I didn't notice it during my test drives and stuff. So it's on me. I never blamed the car, you know. I'm the one that drove it, and I'm the one that didn't realize that I would hate it until after I had it home. So I'll be curious to see how the Tacoma does. I'll be comparing it to the Honda Civic Sport hatch. That's one of the smoothest manual transmissions I've had, one of the funnest manual transmissions I've driven. And to be honest with you, I really did love that car. I'll probably have another one someday, but it's just slightly underpowered for me, and that's why I don't have it anymore. Anyway, I just kind of wanted to get on here, talk about the 2020 that's coming after I've been in the Tacoma a couple times today. I really do miss driving this truck, and I cannot wait to experience the seat, the color, and that manual transmission. It's gonna be awesome. As usual, appreciate you guys watching. Leave a comment down below. If you've had a manual Tacoma, how was it for you, and how does it compare to the automatic if you've driven both? I'd like to know your opinion. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on the web. Have a great day. Bye.